What happens when my retailer files for bankruptcy and I currently have a store card with them? Hey, you guys, it's Shamika. Thank you guys for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share my videos. I appreciate your support. So I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to what is going on in the news, but there are a ton of retailers considering filing for bankruptcy because they cannot meet their financial obligations and they want a bailout from the government. Now, you as a consumer, you don't get extended that same courtesy, and I'm going to explain to you what is going to happen when your retailer files for bankruptcy. All right, so there are 5 things that are going to take place. 1, you're still going to be responsible for that debt. Yes, just because they get a break from the government by filing for bankruptcy, where they get to pretty much walk away from those debts that they owe. Yes, they will have to pay it back in a plan, but they still get a huge break on forgiving their debts. We don't. So we still have to pay that balance. So that's the first thing. 2, if you have reward points, anything, reward points, things that you have to use, you got to buy certain things by a certain time. You want to find out from the company how long you have, because now that time is going to be shortened, of course, because they have to proceed with their bankruptcy proceedings, and a lot of the advantages you had on your account, you won't be able to have anymore. So you want to find out when those things expire. 3, your card will close. Absolutely. They're going to stop you from making any further purchases. No sense of digging them further into debt. Well, actually, it doesn't even matter. It's really just going to dig you further into debt. So they're actually doing you a favor, but they are going to close your account. And 4, they are going to sell your account to a debt collector who is going to reach out to you to make arrangements to see how you're going to meet your obligations with that balance that you have. So I'm sure they're going to give you the option to pay in full. They'll probably also give you the option to make some type of monthly payments, but you will have to repay that debt, and they're going to have someone that's going to contact you. 5, and I think this is probably the worst one of them all, is that your credit score is going to take a hit. Why? Because you're closing an account. Some of these retail cards are going to be some of the first credit cards that trade lines that any body, they might have started out with, especially like your Old Navy's, your Gaps, your Victoria's Secrets. Some of those are the first cards anyone has ever gotten. So these could be accounts that are very old. And now that you are closing that account, that's going to hit your credit score horribly, and it's going to drop your score at least by 20, 30 points or more, just because, and that just really depends on how old that card is. So I'm talking about something that's been on your account for, 5 or more years. Also, if it had a high credit limit and it really played into keeping your utilization 30% or less, with this account closing, now your utilization could go up, which also affects your credit score negatively. So that sums up the 5 things that are going to happen. So again, because I like to rehash everything, you have to still pay it. Your card is going to close. A financial company is going to reach out to you to make some type of financial arrangements. You need to find out about your reward points to see how soon you have to use those. And it is going to drop your credit score. Now, there are a few things you might want to also check on when you find out about your reward points. You might need to find out, do you lose your purchase protection? If you have items that you have at home that you're waiting to return and you can't right now because of the coronavirus, you may not be able to return those items and you may be stuck with them. So you want to find out if you lose your purchase protection. Okay. Let me see. You also want to find out, once they give this information to the debt collectors that's going to come after you to make payment arrangements, you need to find out if this is going to open up a new trade line on your account, credit report, or is it going to show up as a collection? Okay, so they may not report this at all on your credit report unless you do not pay. So you need to find out if it's going to become a new entry on your credit report, or they're just not going to report it. And if you don't pay it, then it it's turned over to debt collections, and then it shows up on your credit report. So you want to find out how they're going to do that, because as I stated, your score is going to drop. So you need to be prepared to know what to do to build your score back up. So that is really what's going to take place. And I know people are probably asking, well, what do I do to build my score back up? Well, if this happens to you, some of the things that you can do to counteract, and I don't say go out and do these things now. I'd rather your score take the hit and then you do the rebound versus trying to be proactive. Because you could actually hurt yourself worse and really make the effort you tried to do not really uses full advantage. So I'll explain that to you now. So say your score does drop the 20 points, and that's fine. You're already prepared. You know, you watched the video, so you already know that's going to happen. Now what you do is, after your score drops, all you do is you can go and sign up with something like Self-Lender, or you can sign up for a secured credit card if your credit score drops really low. You can, you need to apply for only things that are going to be secured. So below, I'm going to put a couple links to some trade lines that are guaranteed, trade lines that will post. And I tell everybody that you have to give it 45 days. Credit reporting is usually a cycle of 30 days. Sometimes some companies report every 2 weeks, but it still takes about a 30-day process. So including some of the lag time and what's going on out in our country right now, I just say give it 45 days before it takes effect and shows up on your credit report. And you'll see that although your score may have dropped that 20 or so points, now just by adding a new trade line to counterbalance, it doesn't even matter the card limit. It's the fact that you got approved for a credit limit, a credit approval. It actually will increase your score, because now the credit algorithm of actually coming up with your credit score is actually being reconfigured, and it actually does something good. So I'm not going to try to make you guys understand, because they don't actually give us all that information to be able to make it make sense. But believe me when I say, let the negative happen, and then you just go back and counteract by opening up a new line of credit. And that should get you at least a 20 point. It should put you back to where you were. If not, don't worry about that. You can always open up two trade lines at one time if you want to I'm not going to say double the points, because it may not always be double the points, but you at least can get an additional 15 or 20 points increase onto what the first card would have given you. So if you get 20 points from the first card, you actually might get another 20 points, which will make it 40. But double doesn't really always happen, but it just happened to happen in this example I gave. But you can actually try to open up 2 accounts at once. But it really just goes by what your money allows you to do. These are the type of accounts you do have to make a purchase in order to get extended the credit. But it's okay, in my opinion, if someone's going to give me $5,000 and I only have to spend $99, I don't really see where I lost, because all I wanted to do is to make its effect on my credit so that my score can go back up. So I hope you guys got that. I know I talk a little fast. It's really because sometimes it's really off the top of my head. But I hope I've given you guys some good information. If you have any questions, please just drop a line below. And again, thank you for watching my videos. Take care. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.